Hi, my name is Chad Bauman. I'm the executive director of Milwaukee Repertory Theater. We are a nonprofit regional theater in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We produce about 700 performances of 15 plays annually to about 300,000 people. And in doing so, we employ about 500 people yearly and have about an economic impact of $20 to $25 million.
Chad, how did the news hit you and how did you wind down the operation? What was that like?
Yeah, it's been an extraordinary experience, as I'm sure it has been with everybody else. Um, we're not foreign to disaster preparedness, but I don't think any of us expected that this would happen so quickly. I was writing a note to donors this morning, and I feel like I have whiplash. That everything that is normal to us, what we receive joy from and comfort from, has sort of been taken from us exceptionally quickly in 2 weeks, and so. I work with an extraordinary team of folks, both on the volunteer side as well as the staff side, and we winded things down very quickly. I think importantly for us is that we took the step before we were mandated to do it. We pride ourselves in doing the right thing and do it when we knew it was had to be done, and we knew that gatherings of more than 10 people were not great for the health of our patrons, and so we actually closed several days before most of the other venues here in town.
How did your employees react and volunteers?
We're starting to see a pattern of, the stages of grief. The first thing that our employees did was exactly what they do. They're theater people. The show must go on. We've got to pull through this. So every single thing that we did was we were so focused on the logistical needs of shutting down the operation. So we video recorded Eclipsed, and then we started streaming that to homes. We started making sure that we had business interruption plans. We started to make sure that we had a remote box office. So it was an extraordinary period of time watching all of these amazing folks come together. Now that we're through those first couple of weeks, now we're starting to be in the new normal. And what does this mean for all of our operations for the foreseeable future?
Can you envision providing any kind of online performances or something to your subscribers and the patrons, or is that next to impossible?
Yeah, I think the challenge for us is that we don't want to bring anybody into the building. And in fact, actually, as of today, because of Governor Evers' declaration, we can't, even if we wanted to, in order to film something. So we are actually looking at working with the artists that we normally work with and actually having them bring artistic content from their living rooms to people. And so I think we got really lucky with Eclipsed, where we were able to get in a three camera crew very quickly, get it filmed and get it ready to go and push it out. But I think that's going to be very difficult for us in the future. So we're looking for ways until the restrictions lift and life sort of returns back to normal, on how we can bring artistic content to the hundreds of thousands of people that we serve normally.
How has this impacted you personally in your life?
Yeah, I think that's the hardest thing for me as a leader is to try to think about the personal impacts. I mean, I'm so thought about the company and what we can do for our people. And this past week was really, really difficult because we had an exchange student named Yannick from Germany who had been with our family for 7 months, and we had fallen in love with him. He was like our son, and he had to be emergency evacuated out of the country on 24 hours notice because Germany was recalling all of their citizens. So last Friday we had to take him to O'Hare, and it was just it was a day of a lot of emotions. I'm emotional talking about it. I miss him. I miss him very much.
I understand. How do you fill your days? Have you found books you've always been wanting to read? Are you working remotely with your staff and your team? How do you fill your days, knowing that there will be many, many more days like this ahead of us?
Yeah, I'm trying to talk to our team about really taking moments for mental and physical health. This is going to be a long run, I think, for all of us, and we have to remain active. We have to keep eating well. We have to take care of ourselves because, quite frankly, everybody needs the best out of us right now. And doing it in a remote environment is challenging. Theater people, we like to connect with others. Being in a screen where I can't touch you or I can't give you a hug, very difficult for us. And so, how I'm spending some time, I'm doing, reading. I'm doing a lot of walking around the block. trying to learn how to cook a little bit with my husband. So trying to make the best out of a difficult situation.
Well, I thank you for your time. I hope to revisit with you soon to see how the progress is going over the coming weeks and months. Hopefully, it will be not that long of a time before we start returning to a new normalcy, I guess. So stay well, be well, and thank you for your time, Chad.
Thank you very much.